Hey guys, Ana Cortez here, author of the Playing Card Oracles. You want to join me as I mess around with these court cards a little bit? I had a viewer request a video on the court cards. I think it's a great request. Courts are really special, obviously a very significant portion of the playing card deck. And of course I'm talking about using playing cards for the art of card reading. Now these cool illustrations on my playing cards are by my father, C.J. Freeman, and you can pick them up yourself from the publisher U.S. Game Systems. But essentially we have the regular courts that you can find in any old regular deck of playing cards. Haha, here's the Jack of Hearts right on top. And I could use this deck for card reading using the Playing Card Oracle system as well. In fact, I pulled this out today. This is my very first card reading deck, the one that I used to take with me and really fly by the seat of my pants and give pretty good readings, amazingly, using the original ideas that my dad intuited or channeled for card reading. And all I had was this stuff. All I had was this. And so, you know, what we have today, or what you have accessible to you today, you've got many things going for you that I didn't. And one of which are these wonderful illustrations that are just so telling about the essence of what's really encoded on regular playing cards. The illustrations just bring the meanings out, flesh it out on the surface so you can see it. And I've got these cards here arranged in sort of a grid formation, just because I'm kind of an organized person, and I like to see all the relationships between things. I think it's really interesting to lay the cards out in this way. I've got the kings all lined up on top so I can see them all right next to each other. The queens below that, the jacks, of course, and these lady cards. Now what is going on here? Because in the decks I know, right, there's no court card below the jack. Well, that's actually a fiction. And the modern decks we have today do not reflect the way that historical decks, at least at one time, were. And there is historical evidence specifically, and not cloaked in mystery or anything like that, but specifically naming out these lower numbered cards as female cards, as 2 female court cards and 2 male court cards. So the Playing Card Oracles is a resurrection or a reconstruction of these early decks, and you know, it just works great from a card reading point of view. How can you read cards with a overly male court, with an imbalance between male and female energy? To me, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. So when I used to read with these things, and I'd have a 10, I'd read it as a court. I'd look at this, but I'd see this, right? I'd see the woman there, because I knew already. So if you guys read with these, know that. And the different suit signs, simply, it's like changing the channel ever so slightly. So I'm on the lady channel, let's say. I'm on my radio or TV, and I'm on the lady channel. But I'm going to turn the dial, and I'm going to see through sort of the lens of a fire personality with the diamond suit. I'm going to see the lady through the lens of an air club personality. How does that affect the lady personality? The heart suit, the water element, which corresponds to our emotions And you can see the water on this card, right? It's just bringing the meaning out. And like, let's just look a little closer for a second here, and you can see how profound these illustrations are. This heart here is illustrated as a compass. It's got the south, north, east, and west on there. This lady, she doesn't need her eyesight, right? She's not logical. She's following her heart. She just needs the compass of her own heart. And of course, she's looking rather foolish out there on the rocks with her eyes blindfolded, but she doesn't care. That's, you know, she's not after the logical prize. She's after the trappings of her heart. She's searching for her heart's desire there. And the illustrations really work with the element of the suit. So if you're coming into the playing card oracles from another system, and I know lots of systems assign lots of different associations to the suits, you've got to work with the elements as they're assigned here, or your meanings are going to be completely out of orbit. It's not going to work at all. The key to learning this system is you don't have to learn the system. All you have to do is know what the elements are, and then the personalities unfold of their own. You start to understand alchemy, right? And then you just know you've got a younger female energy who's operating within the realm of emotion. Bam! It opens up for you. Okay? And then we've got the earth element as it relates to the lady personality. And doesn't she look earthy? She's got her little tribal garb on there. She's sitting on the ground. She's connecting with animals, right? This little guy is concerned with food storage. Very practical little being, that squirrel guy is. And she's got the moon coming out here. All of these black cards communicate more of a night energy. And you've got that reflected as well. So there's a lot to know, to see, to explore, to play with, and you can become an alchemist working with these cards. It's so much fun. And I've got 16 archetypes that just cover the gamut. There's no holes. And, you know, what else can I say? I think I kind of just put everything in a nutshell for you guys. Although you can study these cards for just like ever, and still things unfold for me after 30 full years of working with these cards and these ideas. I love this card. I just randomly picked him. He's so brave, isn't he? It's such a fire trait to be brave, to, you know, damn the consequences. And of course, we even have a little depiction of fire right here, right? And so it's super fun. It's like every time that you get a little spread on the table, let's say I had 3 court cards show up on this layout. I've got a little alchemical mixture here, a little recipe, a little formula here. Whoa, I've got 2 water cards, very watery in my flask of alchemy here, with some air on top, which is floating to the top of my flask, right? The air doesn't want anything to do with the water, really doesn't mix with the water very well at all. And these two are certainly in cahoots, aren't they? As a pair that they are, the younger male and female card within the heart suit, within the suit of emotion. They're crafty, they're unpredictable, they're insecure, they live for that passion and emotion. This guy is just, he's really out on his own here, and yet there's something very interesting about this card. Have you noticed it already? Have you seen it? Okay, he's not in the water suit, right? He's an air card. But check this out. Look at all the water in this card. What is going on here? Right? So there's some mysteries in here. There's some puzzles to solve. Let's look a little closer. Look at his breastplate. I hope this comes into focus at some point here. There's a little heart overlaid on top of the little club on his breastplate. This is a very magical Jack. This is Lancelot. It says that somewhere on the card. Lancelot down here. And Lancelot, we know from history, was a magical Jack. And one of the cool things about Lancelot was he was raised by fairies, right? See the wings? Underwater. He was stolen from his crib as a baby by fairies, right? He had a destiny to fulfill. And he was raised under the waves. So he's this magical combination between air and water. And what a magical combination indeed. What a very unorthodox combination. And this gives Lancelot these extraordinary powers, this combination between male and female. He's like an androgynous character. So something really amazing is happening with this little random triage that we pulled here. And that is these heart cards are bringing out this sort of hidden heart knowing that this magical Jack has. And he's able to blend with them more than the average club card. But you know, that's a little bit of advanced technique, right? I have taken the time to really get to know this card, and I know these sort of mysteries and subtleties that cracked open just now. But you know, if I didn't know that, if I hadn't noticed that on my card yet, or if I was just working with this old deck over here and I didn't have that information, then I could read it the way that we were first talking about, where I've got a mixture between clubs or air and water. And clubs relates to the intellect, the mind. The mind is always trying to rationalize the emotions. And it's a very tough mixture, right? It's a very tough combination. It takes ultimate sensitivity to be tuned in to one's emotions as well as one's intellect, to be able to express rationally what is going on in the underworld of one's emotions. So again, I'm becoming an alchemist as I work with these court cards. Now, know that the courts represent the characters in the drama or the play that is being depicted in your layout. You can think of your own life as a play of sorts. These are the characters, right? Mom enters the room, daughter's already in the room, you know, friend from next door comes over, blah, blah, blah. The cards Ace through 9 is a complete grouping all on its own. It's a complete representation of all the possible experiences that these characters play out. It's what happens in the play. It's what happens as mom and the daughter and the neighbor are sitting in the room together. So that's my little ditty on the courts today. If you want to know about each of these court cards, the specifics, you can get that information in the playing card oracles. It's all there in the book, each card step by step, and you can actually get the ebook version for no cost on my site, anacortez.com. Happy card reading!